I heard no one's ever taught you how to take care of your kitty, your coin, and your crush all at the same time. And that's okay. Because I'm back to teach you everything you need. I posted a poll on my Instagram to 1, announce my YouTube comeback. So exciting! I feel like Dan and Phil. Anyways, but also just to ask you guys questions that you have that you are a bit too scared to ask your mom. Before we start, drop your biggest nobody taught me that question in the comments, and of course subscribe, because come on now. The first question, which I thought was quite interesting, was when should I be intimate with a guy / when should you be intimate with a guy? And if I'm being so real with you, I feel like I've experienced many different relationship dynamics, different kind of guys, and what I've learned is it all comes down to your values and your beliefs and your morals, and I guess your intentions as well. You know, with hookup culture going around and being normalized, I personally don't participate in that, nor do I believe in it, but you know, I believe people can do whatever they want to do. It's just not me, and it doesn't align with my morals, so that's why I don't participate in it. With so many different kinds of dating coaches and, I don't know, pickup artists and people talking about their dating lives on the internet, I know this is exactly what I'm doing, but it's become so much more difficult to navigate your own beliefs and what you believe and use your critical thinking skills. And it's so easy to treat dating as like a rule or a game, when in reality, the root of relationships and the root of romance and human relationships are built on connection and built on mutual understanding and built on your beliefs, and it's not a rule, it's not a game. So to really simply answer this question, when should you be intimate with a guy, is whenever you feel ready, whenever you want to, whenever you feel safe to, as long as it aligns with your morals, beliefs, and intentions. If your intention is to just be a city girl and, you know, have a good time, just hook up, you know, enjoy whatever it is that you're enjoying, then go crazy, as long as you're being safe. But if you know in your heart that that's not something you want to do, it's not something you feel aligned with, you don't have to be intimate with anyone until you feel comfortable doing so. And if you're worried, because I know I have been before, that if you're not giving yourself up in that way, he will leave, let him. He obviously does not align with your values, and it doesn't make him a bad guy, it doesn't make you a pretentious person or anything, it just means that you didn't align morally. And you're saving time and money and all that resources, you know. Also, something we do not talk about enough is people being aware of their health status. It is not awkward, it is not pretentious, it is not unnatural to protect your body. Now for me, whenever I get to that point with a partner, I always bring up that conversation. When's the last time you've been tested? Are you positive for anything? Are you seeing other people? Yes, it might be uncomfortable to bring up in the moment, but I will much rather take 10-15 minutes of uncomfy conversation than battling an STD for the rest of my life, or the next couple months and just being itchy and stinky and I'm not gonna go into why I believe exclusivity is so important in this video, because that's just gonna be a whole nother conversation. But to wrap it up, only be intimate when you feel safe, ready, and aligned to do so. Stay rock solid with your standards and your beliefs, and do not play about your safety. Absolutely not. I think like a good rule of thumb is that if you're too uncomfortable or too immature or too shy to be bringing up the conversation about protection or STDs or boundaries, you are too young to be participating in any of that. No shade. You know, something nobody ever tells you. Intimacy with another person becomes so much better when you know how to be intimate with yourself. So if I would be able to go back in time, you know, if I were like this ghost or this floating being looking down at myself, that's kind of gross, like looking down at myself. I was like, you know, younger, exploring that side of myself for the first time. I would tell her, explore yourself as much as you can, because knowing how your body works and being able to teach that to a partner will enhance the experience so much, trust me. And if you don't feel comfortable exploring intimacy with a partner, there's so much intimacy to be discovered and experienced just on your own. And I'm not going to elaborate on too much about this here, because I don't want to be like banned. But if you have more questions on that, just DM me or something. I might make like a whole thing out of it. Next question is, what are my standards supposed to be? This again is different for everybody, but the backbone is your morals, intentions, and your values. I'm gonna keep coming back to this. this whole video because I'm gonna start rambling again. But with the rise of AI and social media, I feel like less and less amount of people can actually form their own opinions and their thoughts. And when you ask someone what are your values, morals, they don't know. They just regurgitate whatever they think is socially acceptable because they learned that from social media. Even in the leftist, culture on social media, where we're, taught to believe that we're so open-minded, we actually are not a friendly place to express your thoughts because anything other than leftist is considered wrong. Whoa, okay, not to be political or anything. I feel like from what I said, it made me sound very, very right-wing. I am very left-leaning politically in my beliefs, but what I was trying to enunciate is how on social media we're fed propaganda, mostly left-wing propaganda, which is great for the future and inclusivity and open-mindedness and embracing our progressive social environmental culture. But with that, we have so many people who believe that way just because they're told to believe that way instead of understanding the root of why people are changing and people are fighting for change. So the second somebody has their own opinions that differ from this left-wing opinion, people are so fast to attack them without actually hearing the reasoning behind their beliefs. Controversial, but I think everyone's beliefs are equally valid as long as you have a fair reason. Might be your religious belief, might be your cultural belief. Some, yes, might be more regressive than others. It doesn't make one thing more correct or valid than the other. Yes, one may be more beneficial for the society in the future in general, but it doesn't make it only correct opinion. And I think we've fostered such a almost toxic liberal culture, especially on social media, where we're repressing other people's opinions just because it's not ours. It just happens to be mostly left-wing, but it could perfectly be right-wing. And I think that's actually stopped people from being able to form their own opinions and feel safe to express those opinions. But you can only have change when there's a conversation, when there's mutual understanding of where people are coming from, and to understand that everything is for the greater good. I hope that makes sense. I just didn't like the way that I expressed it in the videos. I just thought to reiterate here. Anyways, see you soon. Your standards are what protect you, are what guide you, are what shapes your life. But you can't copy and paste it from people that you see on the internet. A lot of my standards, especially in dating, kind of stems from stability or loyalty, more about building a life together in partnership rather than crazy, extravagant, I do but I'm not interested in collecting stamps of men from different countries, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to fill my passport or her. Well, anyways, I'll show you an example of the list of standards I have. I have this on deck with me at all times in my notes app, just to remind myself whenever I'm on a date, whenever I meet somebody, whenever I feel like my standards are being compromised, I always look back on this, think, would my husband do this? Would my husband do that? Would my husband make me feel this way? And that is my reference of who I should date, if I should continue dating whoever it is I'm dating. But it's completely okay for your standards to look different than mine. Maybe you're young, you want to experience different kinds of relationships, different kinds of physical relationships. You want to experience a lavish and extravagant lifestyle. Maybe you just want a country house in Alabama or somewhere. Standards are different for each person, and that's completely okay. Again, because everybody has their own morals, beliefs, and intentions that root from their upbringing, their cultures, their religions. And no matter what people tell you on the internet, your values are your values for a reason, and nobody has any right to discredit your values and morals. But a side note is to never date potential, always date reality. I was talking to my best bust down, my girl, my ride or die best friend the other day, and she was telling me she felt like she lost me for a second when I was dating this particular man. And looking back on it, I was absolutely losing my mind. I was considering moving to another country with a man that didn't have a career, with a man that all he had going was he was sexy and he had potential, but in reality, he was nowhere near what I envisioned for my partner. And I was so infatuated and seeing so much potential when there was actually no data or reality to support these claims. It was all just in my brain. And I know that I'm a little bit crazy, so a bit of a visionary, if you will. So don't let that be you, please. Date the man that's in front of you right now, or woman. Do not date the vision that you have of them. Please. Thank you. Actually, no, write that down in your notes app. Put it your lock screen. Date reality, not potential. I need all of my girls to remember that, okay? That's gonna save you so much time, so much argument, so much disappointment. Oh my gosh, I'm getting sweaty. Hold on, I need to, let's refresh. God, I'm just imagining you girls being in the same situation I did, dating a bum. He wasn't really a bum. He was actually a really good guy. He was just not the level of grown I needed him to be. That was, what perfume is this? The bottle was passed down for my mom, but the inside is actually YSL Libre Intense, I believe. It's my signature scent at the moment. It feels so sexy. And this is the YSL Plumping. I'm a YSL girl through and through. Like, my dream is to be doing a campaign with YSL. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the commercial Dua Lipa did with YSL. Oh my god, it was sickening. I just thought, I saw it at the airport in Taiwan and I was just like, oh my god, that needs to be me. So that's what I'm manifesting. let's get back to being hot. All right. You know, one of my most asked questions is, how do I find confidence? How do I build confidence? How do I be a hot girl like you? Okay, not in that wording, but building confidence, it's such a personal thing, and there's never a perfect roadmap to achieve the level of confidence that you see in other people, because confidence manifests in people differently. But the common thread, I'd say, is how aligned you are as a person to your vision of a good person. Stay with me now. So we all have, you know, an idea of what a good person is like, right? For me, it would be someone that's loyal, someone that's communicative, someone that's kind, funny, stylish, environmentally conscious, prioritizes their family. I have this vision of what a good person would be like, right? And the reason why I was able to become the confident person I am today is because I got closer and closer to this vision of a good person that I had in my head. If I think this hypothetical person is a great person and I'm aligning with that person, then why wouldn't I ever think of myself as a good person? And that's what gives me confidence, because I'm so sure in who I am and the person I am being a good person. Does that make sense? This is a deeper conversation than, you know, having your nails done, having your hair done, being educated, being on time, being disciplined. But I think at the core of this, it's, you know, go to the gym because you think people who go to the gym, the results that come from the gym is sexy and admirable. That's why people go to the gym, to become closer to the vision of who they admire. I do my nails, I do my hair, my toes are always done usually, because I respect people who take care of themselves. And to do that, these are the practices that get me there. Thus, I will do those practices because it will get me closer to this vision of a person that I have. Are you getting my logic? But I guess if I were to make this simple, it's to remember daily habits are micro proof that you can keep promises to yourself. It's proof that you are a person you would respect in a third person perspective. I do think it all comes down to self-respect, but also in a culture where we're consistently fed pictures and ads and campaigns of people who look absolutely unreal and stunning. Take that as data rather than comparison. Like, that's how I could look. That's how I could look if I do that. Think of it as data instead of comparison, and you will be much happier, I promise you. And once you start building your daily practices that make you feel good, that makes you feel aligned, that will show physically. Like, this is how I looked a year ago. Do I respect the things I was doing a year ago? Not really. Do I align with it? Not really. But this is how I look now. I like the way that I live. I love the way that I love people. I love the way that I love myself. And I think that's what manifests into my physical gorgeousness. I don't know. Many of you might not know this, but I'm actually a business owner. I don't talk about it too much on here, but I own a media company. I also do like social media consulting, marketing consulting, things like this. I only started this business about a year ago, but I've always been quite entrepreneurial. When I posted this reel on my Instagram, got a lot of questions about how did you start your business? How did this all come to be? Funny story, actually. I had a whole YouTube series. It's probably still up on this channel when I started my first business when I was 15. It was like a graphic design, custom sticker making business. It did well, like I did make profit, but I guess it just didn't stick.
Now, why is today a special day? Why am I filming today? Well, I'm starting a business. I'm still in the production stages of it, and I still have a long way to go before launching. I need to get sticker paper, I need to get markers, not markers, pens, because I ran out of black pens. How convenient is that? Finish an English essay, a physics investigation report, yeah, and some French work that I haven't been doing this week.
And since then, I've had like a joint business for like a school project. It was a recycled lanyard business. And after that, I had a crystal shop that became a jewelry shop. That made the most amount of profit in that era. And then since then I've taken a break. I became a dancer, and now I own 2 businesses at 20. And that's actually the chunk of my monthly paycheck. But if you're in your teens and you're thinking to start a business, absolutely do it. You have nothing stopping you. And starting a business doesn't have to be expensive at all. I had a dream and $30 in my account, and I made a graphic design business that I think in total made me like $800 or $900. There's always a affordable way to do something. And I think a lot of tutorials and gurus and these self-help people make it sound so complicated, but it really isn't. If you have something you're passionate about and you have a business mindset, you can make it work. And if it fails, so what? You know, you have your whole life ahead of you, and you just gained so much XP, so much life XP. And you might end up like me, where you had 3 failed businesses in your first 5 years of becoming an entrepreneur, but in your 5th year, 2 businesses skyrocket. And I wouldn't have been able to do what I do now and have the resilience had I not gone through what I gone through with my business failures. And I wouldn't ever call them failures anyways. I would call them like attempts or practices. I think a lot of teenagers and young people fail to realize that they have so much more resource compared to these like 60-year-old billionaires, because you have the luxury of failure. You have the luxury of failing and trying again because you have so much time on your hands and so much time ahead of you. So use and abuse that. Make so many mistakes. Try everything. I started this YouTube channel when I was 10 years old. I've been posting inconsistently for about 10 years and finally it's paying off. So do everything that interests you. Do every hobby, take any class that you can, take every opportunity, because there's truly no time like now. You have so much resources on your fingertips. My channel is one of them. You can learn absolutely anything. Wow, I sound like such an unk right now. But you can learn absolutely anything from the tip of your fingers. So take advantage of it. Also, if you just go down this entrepreneurial path when you're young, you kind of adopt a level of discipline that you otherwise wouldn't. And hot take, but I think discipline is like the sexiest thing ever. This is actually so real. Why is making friends as an adult so hard? I don't know. As a person who's moved to a different country many times, never really was around people that I grew up with, I can tell you firsthand, it's quite the challenge to make friends as an adult. And I think it's because when you're in high school, when you're in middle school, you naturally have friends that you grew up with, right? So you don't really have to, have difficult conversations. You don't really need a debrief on what happened in your life. You kind of just understand each other, and your friendship is kind of born out of convenience. Where as an adult, you don't really have that much excess time just to be gibber and jabbering, and it takes a lot more intentional effort to make a friend. But I will say a lot of the friendships that I made once I've become an adult are so much richer, and there's just a je ne sais quoi that comes with conversations built on your communication skills as an adult and expressing your opinions and thoughts with the vocabulary and communication skills you have. The self-awareness that you have as an adult is so special and sacred compared to the friendships I have just because of convenience. And of course, there will be friends that you grew up with and just coincidentally align with morally, but another harsh truth, a lot of the friends that you grow up with actually don't align with you at all, and you will lose a lot of friends when you're older. Like, I have friends who completely turned out to be like very, very not good people, and so I'm not friends with them at all. I have like a good handful of great friends. I don't have a lot of friends, but I have a handful of fantastic great friends who really, really understand me, and I would much rather take that than having a huge group of friends. But if you are like moving to a new country and you have absolutely no friends there to start with, I'm a huge fan of just sliding into people's DMs. Like, that's how I made a few friends in Tokyo. I was just like, hey, I saw you were in Tokyo. Like, they'll be on my For You page or whatever, and because I do social media, they kind of like, it's like, oh, well, instant, I wouldn't say trauma bond, but like thing in common. Hey, I'm a creator also based in Tokyo. I'd love to catch up. I'd love to get coffee. I have been left undelivered, but I do also have success stories. Or just making an effort to connect with friends of friends, like going to your friend's birthday, going to your friend's events, going to support your friend's art gallery. You will naturally make friends there as well. You just have to be outside. I'm sorry. Like, as an introvert, I know it's scary. Like, I get it. You just have to go outside. Put yourself out there and you will find your people. Trust me. Wherever you go. And that kind of brings us to the end of the video. I'm actually really nervous to post this video because it's the first time that I'm showing you the set that I made just for YouTube. Sherry Lisa over there. It's a beautiful piece of artwork. I have no idea if this video will do well, but I do hope you enjoyed it. You guys gave me the career that I have today, and I wouldn't be here without you. And to be honest, I really missed you guys. Like, I miss chatting to you. I missed reading your comments. And recently, when I reopened my YouTube app, I saw the comments that you guys left me from like months ago. I thought nobody watched my videos anymore. Like, I had comments that were left 10 hours before, and I was like, oh my god, what the heck, people still watch my videos? That's kind of also why I felt really encouraged to make this, YouTube come back. I just thought y'all missed me or something. Let me know if you have more questions. I can make millions of videos like this because I feel like I've lived such a rich 20 years of my life. And no question is ever off the table. I love you guys so much. All my socials are linked somewhere. Oh, it's probably on the screen now. I love you all so much from the depths of my heart. I appreciate you like you don't even understand. And I am always in your corner. And I will see you in the next one. Bye! How can I make this like look more cozy? This is an effort to make this look more cozy. If any home and wellness brands are watching, I would happily take your candles.